Let's go.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera pada semua. Selamat datang ke channel Sekolah Kripto TV, sebuah platform yang berdedikasi untuk memberikan pembelajaran percuma insya-Allah kepada rakyat Malaysia tentang blockchain, Web3 dan kripto aset. Saya Babah Ajim sebagai host anda pada hari ini dalam sesi seterusnya tentang AMA bersama Pitchin. Hari ini kita ada tetamu istimewa. Tapi sebelum saya memperkenalkan beliau, macam biasalah kepada yang baru masuk, jangan lupa like dan share video ni. Dan kalau ada sebarang soalan sepanjang sesi kita pada hari ini, jangan segan untuk tinggalkan komen-komen anda di bawah. Jadi untuk mengelakkan membuang masa, saya memperkenalkan tetamu istimewa kita, Encik Zaim Zainuddin, Assistant Manager untuk IEO Pitchin. Apa khabar Encik Zaim?
Khabar baik, Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum semua.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Jadi kita mulakanlah sikit sebanyak tentang apa itu pitch-in dan mungkin latar belakang Encik Zaim sendirilah. Boleh Encik?
Boleh.
Okey, silakan.
Okay, so presentation ni akan ada mix lah English dengan BM. Hopefully
Baik.
okay lah kan. Sebab slide pun kita buat prepare dalam English. Tak sempat nak buat BM. Okay, so my background, I started my career awal-awal masuk dalam bidang fintech. So my first company was a P2P financing company yang Sharia compliant. After that, I joined a crypto exchange kat Malaysia for 1 year. Tapi malangnya tak dapat license daripada SC sebab time tu SC bagi 3 lesen je. And then our company tak dapat. So after my crypto exchange punya career tu, I went into venture capital dengan MAVCAP. So dalam MAVCAP ni, I was analyzing startup companies, mainly tech companies, dengan VC funds untuk invest. So one of the companies invested was Pitchin, and I joined Pitchin after 3 years dekat MAVCAP ni, dekat VC. And sekarang ni I'm working under the IEO department, Initial Exchange Offering, bawah Pitchin. So here we are. Yeah.
Jauh jugalah perjalanan dia ya. Starting kira dari bawah jugalah, daripada community builders kan.
Yep.
Baiklah. So sikit sebanyaklah kita dengar apa tentang pitch-in tu sendiri.
Okay lah, I think I'll share my screen kan. So boleh nampak screen ke?
Boleh.
Okay. So hari ni nak present pasal produk baru Pitchin, which is the Initial Exchange Offering. Produk ni is the first yang dalam Malaysia yang ada license. Securities Commission baru je keluarkan license. Ada 2 company je yang dapat. Antara company yang dapat tu is Pitchin lah. So for this Initial Exchange Offering tu, I will present the overview of the platform. And then after this, we can go to Q&A for deeper conversation lah kan. So a brief overview of Pitchin. Pitchin is and has started off as an equity crowdfunding platform. The official term by Securities Commission ni is RMO, Recognized Market Operator. So Pitchin dapat the ECF RMO license ni in 2016. And there were, if I'm not mistaken, 6 others. Now sekarang ni ada 9 other ECF companies. However, dalam Malaysia ni, the market leader in the equity crowdfunding punya landscape ni is Pitchin. Pitchin punya market share sekarang kat Malaysia ni lebih kurang 60%. So 60% of the ECF market is Pitchin punya. So a clear market leader. To give some numbers, Pitchin has successfully raised 250 million ringgit for 143 companies since 2016. And right now our main core product is the equity crowdfunding. Tapi Pitchin sekarang we are expanding into other products. For example, kita akan launch very soon a secondary market. So for all the companies yang pernah raise dekat Pitchin ni, the shares can be traded on a platform that will be hosted on Pitchin. So contohnya lah money match ataupun kaki tangan dah pernah raise kat Pitchin, and contohnya ada investor yang nak jual share dia cepat, dia tak nak tunggu lama sangat. So dengan secondary market ni dia boleh jual macam bursa. So we call this macam the bursa for the sort of startup market lah dekat Malaysia ni. And Pitchin is the only ECF platform yang license kat Malaysia that will be launching the secondary market. So this is coming out very soon. So that one can be a topic for another day lah. Yeah. So apart from our secondary market ni, we also have a license to operate as an initial exchange offering platform, IEO. I think ramai kat sini tahu ICO zaman 2017. So apa beza kan ICO dengan IEO ni?
Okay, sorry mencelah je.
Yep.
Untuk slide ni boleh tekan present slide tak sebab kurang nampak?
Oh ya, it shows here. Dia nampak kecil
Dia nampak kecil. Boleh nak full screen?
Okay.
Okay.
Is it better? Okay.
Okay, better. Okay,
Sorry,
jom
my
sambung
bad.
balik tentang ICO dan IDO.
Yeah, my bad. So, I was getting back. Apa beza ICO dengan IEO? Basically, it's the same thing. The only difference ICO dengan IEO ni is siapa yang operatekan the fundraising. So kalau ICO selalunya company yang nak raise money tu dia sendiri akan offer token dia and ada investor akan masuk and invest dalam company tu. IEO ni is something newer. It is controlled by a centralized party ataupun a company yang akan host the fundraising process. So for example, a famous IEO yang I think ramai tahu is Binance Launchpad. They are a centralized exchange, and company yang baru yang nak raise money through issuing tokens boleh raise dekat Binance Launchpad, and Binance akan facilitate the money in and money out. So it will be safer and it will protect the investors. In the case for Pitchin, we are a licensed RMO for the IEO platform, and we will be under the purview of SC and will be monitored by Securities Commission of Malaysia to handle investor money flowing in and out into the company yang nak raise money. So it's safer for investors. Sebab kat time ICO 2017 dulu ramai kena scam, ramai company dapat duit terbelah. Tapi nanti I'll explain why IEO is much safer. Okay, so these are the highlights of the regulations. So in 2020, SC keluar guidelines on digital assets. Sebab I think we all believe in the future of crypto, in the future of digital assets, and kudos and it's very good on SC to be backing such an innovative tech in Malaysia. So they released these guidelines on digital assets. This included digital asset exchanges macam Luno, dia orang pun license dekat Malaysia as a exchange, and now the initial exchange offering platform. In 2022, Pitchin is one of the 2 approved IEO market operators in Malaysia. Tapi nak bagi some clause kat sini lah. Pitchin right now the actual term is conditionally approved, meaning that kita tengah finalize lagi all our terms untuk the license. Tapi should be very soon lah kita akan launch the platform officially. We are targeting Q1 next year. And highlight about this IEO ni, what makes it very interesting untuk companies yang nak fundraise through digital token issuance ni is that the companies can raise up to 100 million ringgit. So it's a lot of money, and I think a lot of crypto companies boleh benefit through fundraising through our platform. So let me give a brief overview on what are digital tokens. I'm sure your audience semua dah tahu lah, tapi nak go through the basics balik. Yeah, so what are digital tokens? This is a non-exhaustive list. It could be defined in many other ways, but we simplified it to 4. So digital tokens in our perspective is programmable through smart contracts. So that means it is not only is it flexible, but it can adapt to what the business wants and needs. Secondly is that it can be traded on digital asset exchanges. This is very unique because early stage companies dah boleh ada tokens diorang dalam exchange, dalam bursa. Kalau ikut traditional finance, companies kena to a certain level dulu, dah besar dah, baru boleh list publicly into bursa ke ataupun ada stock market. So the uniqueness of crypto is early on dah boleh list your tokens on the exchange and get liquidity kan. Thirdly is that transactions are recorded on the blockchain network. So for our case, we will be deploying our tokens on the ERC20 network for now because it's the most widely used network, and it will be available for anyone to check, audit, and see. Fourthly, it may or may not represent any existing securities, contohnya macam bonds ataupun equity. So because it's programmable, it can or may not be. So the types of digital tokens, again, is not an exhaustive list. Ada macam-macam lagi token yang akan ada. Tapi these are the 3 main ones lah that we think the public should know. Number 1 is utility tokens. So tokens that have a specific use case dalam its ecosystem. Second are payment tokens. So tokens that can be used for a form of payments. And we see this lah dalam stable coin ke, even in Bitcoin and Ethereum pun you can use to pay for everyday items and in certain countries. And the third type is asset-backed tokens. So these are the tokens that are backed by underlying securities, such as equities ke, corporate assets ke. This is a very interesting topic to go into juga, asset-backed tokens. Okay, so as a brief overview of the investment limits that will be on our IEO platform, for issuers, the period for investment will be within 12 months. The quantum would be a maximum of 20 times the shareholders' capital. Okay, what does this mean, kan? So, whatever the shareholders' capital is, 20 times that is the maximum you can go. So, contohnya kalau Sendirian Berhad yang share capital dia 5 million, then you are eligible to raise 100 million. So, kalau 500,000, you can eligible for 10 million. So that's on the issuer side. I think in the Q&A I can go deeper sikit lah into the details of issuers ni. For investors, ada 3 jenis investor. One is retail investor, second is angel, and third is sophisticated. So retail ni is everyone. Everyone yang you don't have to declare anything, you can just come on the platform, to go through the KYC process, and you are eligible up to 2,000, investing in 2,000 ringgit worth of tokens on our platform. And the retail investor tak boleh exceed 20,000 in 12 months. However, all these numbers ni I think is only there at the start. Tapi as more projects come on board too, I think the limit can be changed lah. Second are angel investors. Diorang punya limit is not exceeding 500,000 for the year. And then the third one is the sophisticated investors. On crypto panggil whale lah. So kalau whale and you declare your asset, SC tahu how much your net worth is, a certain amount, and you have no restrictions in investing. Berapa banyak pun okay. Okay, so I'm going to go through sikit the process flow. This is a very simple overview. So first, issuer means the company yang nak raise the funds through tokens ni. They would go on our platform. They would register, go through KYC, and then we'll do our due diligence on their business, whether it's real or not. And then they can apply for fundraising on our website. So once they apply and then we pass that first stage, we verify yang business tu is a legit business, they will submit their white paper. So white paper ni ada semua information yang kita nak lah, which includes business model diorang, the actual business, the token punya specifications, everything to do with the distribution, etc., etc. So once they submit white paper kat kita orang, Pitchin will conduct a due diligence. So we will conduct a due diligence on the technology, on the business, and also the legal. Once we pass all that stage tu, and all this due diligence ni kena comply dengan our guideline with Securities Commission. Alright, so once dah pass all of that, the IEO operator will then facilitate minting out the tokens to the public. So once the tokens are minted, investors boleh choose, oh, I want to invest dalam this crypto platform. So they will invest the money. In return, they'll get a promised amount of tokens based on the price listed dekat the platform. Once the fundraising amount dah reach, only then would the funds be able to be distributed to the company. Okay, so let me explain sikit pasal the campaign punya part ni. So when a company dah successfully launch dekat Pitchin IEO nanti, diorang punya campaign akan live dekat website. So contohnya diorang tengah raise 20 million ringgit untuk, let's say for example, diorang tengah buat DeFi wallet. So diorang buat DeFi wallet and diorang launch for 3 months on the platform. Diorang punya minimum amount diorang nak raise is 10 million ringgit, for example. Maximum, let's just put 20 million. Selagi the amount of investment tak cecah 10 million, selagi tu diorang tak boleh dapat duit. So once dia sampai the minimum amount yang diorang request, baru boleh disperse. So dia minimum sampai maksimum je lah. So kalau 9 million pun tak boleh. Kalau diorang raise 9 million dah 3 bulan dah habis, kita kena return balik duit semua kat investor. So as long as the investment amount tu dah sampai the minimum amount, baru boleh disperse. Okay. So once the funds will be dispersed to the issuer, and all the money ni will not be dispersed sekaligus. Dia akan dalam tranches. Maksudnya ada milestone dia lah. So contohnya for DeFi wallet ni, bila Pitchin dah buat due diligence apa semua, kita orang dah tengok, okay, your business ni sebenarnya perlukan 3 tranche duit. So kita orang boleh awal-awal bagi 10 million. Second time tu bagi 5 million. Then the third time bagi 5 million. Tapi the company kena hit certain milestone lah dalam roadmap diorang, baru boleh release. So I think this is also part of the safety yang investing in an IEO platform can give. So once the funds is dispersed to the company akan guna the funds to produce and build the product ataupun service yang diorang offer, and the investors will get the tokens. So after dah successfully fundraise, kita expect business ni build product diorang maybe dalam tempoh setahun, maybe 1 year, maybe around that timeline. After that, baru tokens tu boleh list dekat a decentralized exchange. Contohnya macam Luno. And from there, it can be traded and so on. So this is a slight a brief overview on the process flow, on how it will work. Of course, the term semua tu, the details tu akan finalize soon lah. We are planning for Q1 next year nak finalize everything. Okay, just a brief market overview. How has blockchain, how has it grown during the bull market of 2021 ni? This chart represents all the VC, venture capital money invested into blockchain companies and berapa banyak company yang invested. So as you can see, the black line tu is the deal count. This is the number of companies yang invested. So in 2017, almost 500 companies. And in 2021, you can see dia cecah slightly more than 500 companies. But the main difference is the money invested for 2021 is around 5 times more. So there is more money being pumped into blockchain projects. I think this is very necessary because the whole industry ni is very early, and a lot of the companies here are still going through the R&D stage of things. I think this is very important. So these are just a list of the big VC players. And one thing about VC ni is diorang ada timeline on when to invest. Selalunya the VC funds ni ada 10 years. So diorang kena deploy, diorang kena invest the money yang diorang raise ni within 4 to 5 years around there. So this money has to be invested into the industry. Alright, so a few macam use case I think in terms of industry yang kita akan target juga will be gaming, social platforms, media and ad tech, blockchain as a service, e-commerce and other P2P applications. Tapi of course we will be looking into a lot more industries lah. Kita tak nak just zoom down on a few je. Okay, so what to expect in Q1 2023, Pitchin will be listing its first IEO project, hopefully, and we will be targeting innovative business models with the new asset issuance ni, and we are aiming for listing international projects with international investors as well. Okay, that's all for the slides. Happy to take any questions.
Okay. Nice tu, maksudnya memang untuk quarter first 2023 ni memang banyaklah kita boleh tunggu dan nantikan daripada Pitchin tu sendiri.
InsyaAllah.
Okay. Ni sebab sekarang ni kita diperkenalkan dengan terms IEO lah kan. Jadi kita ada banyak lagi terms-terms yang mungkin Encik Zaim boleh terangkan kan apa beza ICO, IEO dan IPO tu sendiri. Okay.
So ICO dengan IEO ni boleh kategorikan lebih kurang sama. IPO tu benda lain. So IPO ni is initial public offering. This is a method in traditional finance bila company dah grow to a certain level, dah besar dah revenue diorang dah millions dah. Diorang dah profitable. They want to make their company public. So making your company public ni maksudnya your shares tu, your equity shares tu, any public investor can invest in. So that is IPO. For ICO and IEO ni, it's different sebab dia first off, it's very specific to blockchain and crypto. And dia punya companies can go public early on. Even time idea stage pun dah boleh list tokens diorang ni to the public. So IEO and ICO ni is more, it democratizes investments for everyone. IPO ni is more macam, it's very traditional and it's only for the financial institutions or the sophisticated investors. Yeah.
Okay, faham. Okay, kita pergi ke next question. How small project owner like NFT artists, community Web3 guild, can benefit from this IEO from Pitch In?
Okay, so we will welcome any project to come and apply on our platform. So for businesses dalam crypto, what I would recommend is once the website is launched, fully launched, they can register their business dekat the website, go through the KYC process apa semua. Once approved, they can apply for fundraising. So once they go through fundraising punya application ni, we will go through the due diligence process, and then if everything pass, then we can list them on the platform.
I see. So maksudnya tak kisahlah projek tu besar ke kecil ke, flow dia still sama. Dan juga ada yang step-step yang kita dah tengok kat dalam slide tadi tu kan.
Yep.
Okay, kalau macam company yang dah ada token contohnya, kena deploy token baru ke? Ataupun macam mana dia nak guna platform ni?
Yeah, so ideally kita nak launch companies yang baru nak issue the tokens because we want our investors to invest dalam the first issuance kalau boleh. However, boleh je issue the same amount of tokens even if diorang dah release awal-awal. It can be arranged lah, yeah. But there will be extra steps masa nak review, nak buat due diligence apa semua tu, there will be additional steps moving forward lah. Yeah.
So maksudnya mungkin kena declare dah berapa daripada token yang lama itu dah dibeli ke macam tu lah ya.
Yep.
Okay, next question. Do you have a large number of investors ecosystem?
Yeah, I would say, okay, so Pitchin as a company, the brand is very strong. So because Pitchin itself is the market leader dalam equity crowdfunding, and Pitchin has proven that the company can raise up to 250 million ringgit since 2016. I think the investor base yang tahu pasal Pitchin ni is quite big. So we are hoping to get investors interested in a new way of investing, the Web3 way lah.
Okay. So next question, need to be minimum years. Need minimum years of operation. Maybe because some of organization need like minimum 3 years. Because the 3 years is only the evaluation phase. For Pitch In, how? Maybe tips or trick. Maybe you have, if you have already operate more than this year, is more likely to be listed in Pitch In.
Yes, so I think there's no set amount of time that the company has to be operated. However, the more steady the business is, the bigger the business is, I think that will easily attract bigger investors to come on board. But that being said, that does not mean that you need to be operating for 3 years, only then are you eligible. There's no set time yet, but I think the best answer I can give is that it will be on a case-to-case basis based on our due diligence nanti. Yeah,
I see. Okay, and then the company, do they really need to register it as Sdn Bhd or just enterprise, or they can didn't register it at all?
Yes. Okay, so for the issuers yang nak apply ni, there's a few main things yang kena we have to check ah. So first is the company kena Sdn Bhd ataupun LLP. That is the guideline from SC. And second is that the business punya main operations has to be dekat Malaysia.
I see.
Yep.
So kalau macam owner daripada luar negara yang register company dekat Malaysia boleh?
Boleh. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Also
Okay.
there are some based on the guideline tu, For example, a Sdn Bhd company would have to have 500,000 in paid up capital ringgit, because right now the platform is trying to set a minimum of 10 million to be as the minimum amount to be raised. So share capital has to be 500,000. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next question. If we deploy our own token, need to get approval from SC?
Yes. So the due diligence process nanti, when a company, Sdn Bhd, wants to apply on Pitchin, we would be auditing the white paper, the token, and also the business. Once that is approved, it will be approved by a company yang ada lesen from SC. So this is basically like a gateway for companies to have their own tokens and to be traded on licensed exchanges in Malaysia, in Luno, in Synergy, in Tokenize. So Pitchin provides a gateway lah untuk companies to issue their tokens legally. Yeah.
I see. Okay. For the next question ni sebenarnya yang macam sebelum ni, kiranya the company asal ada perluan negara dan dia nak expand dekat Malaysia, tapi kiranya maksudnya dia tak register dengan Sdn Bhd Malaysia lah kan? Dia ada M tu. Boleh juga ke untuk dapatkan crowdfunding daripada Pitchin Malaysia?
As of now, the company has to be a Sdn Bhd ataupun LLP. Yeah.
Okay, how about the director and shareholder need to be Malaysian for the company, I think?
Yeah, that's not specified strictly for us. So based on the negotiations we have with SC right now, the back and forth we have right now, the only requirements are that the company has to be Sdn Bhd or an LLP, has to be operating in Malaysia mainly, the main operations dekat Malaysia, and a paid up capital of 500,000. These are the main requirements for issuers.
Okay. Untuk issuers pula, untuk token ya, sebab Pitchin pakai ERC20, kalau token yang diorang nak deploy tu in BEP20 ke, boleh macam tu?
Okay, so for now, because we want to start the ball rolling, nak biar this platform ada momentum. So we have decided to start off with ERC20. Yeah, but that does not stop us from exploring Binance, Solana, and other ecosystems. Hopefully, we reach a level yang kita boleh apply macam-macam contracts. Yeah.
I can understand. So next question, can DEX be launched in Malaysia?
Sorry, DEX?
Decentralized exchange be launched in Malaysia?
Yes, for decentralized exchanges in Malaysia, the company has to have a license from SE. So currently, there are 4 companies that have the decentralized exchange license, and it's up to the decision of the SE to approve more players in the ecosystem. Yeah.
Okay. If you mind share with us about how the white paper will be evaluated.
Okay, so there will be several angles for us to look into the due diligence of the white paper. So first off, we will be assessing the business model of the business first and how relevant it is to the token model. We will be looking into the whole tokenomics. We will look into how feasible it is to be adopted to the consumers and for investor demands. We will be looking into the issuance, for example, of the tokens. We will be looking for the stage of the business, the industry. We'll be looking into whether it's an inflationary token ataupun deflationary, apa mechanism dia. And then we'll be looking into whether or not the token is a security or not. So for example, a token could be could have the characteristics of a bond ataupun sukuk. So contohnya a project yang macam plantation ataupun energy like solar ke apa. For the token holders, they get dividends. So the dividends could be in the tokens itself, it could be in ringgit. So we have to evaluate all those aspects. Yeah.
Okay. So that's how they evaluate the white paper lah. Okay.
Yep.
For the project that we want to list it in pitch in, okay, the question is, what specific blockchain or layer one are allowed to launch in Malaysia? So maybe this company want to make a project, launch the blockchains have, not just the apps or something on another blockchain. It want to deploy the blockchain itself.
And layer
Can
one, right?
listed mean a layer one? Can it listed in pitch in for the crowdfunding?
Yes, that is a project that can be launched on our platform. Yes, if you look into other IEOs, yang the other global players right now, there are layer ones that have raised money through IEO. I think one of them recently I saw it was a Siri network. I think it was an L1. I think there's a couple more L1s yang on other IEO launchpads. So yes, I think launching a layer one is a possible campaign for our platform as well. Yeah.
Nice. So the next question is quite interesting, because instead of doing the crowdfunding by buying the tokens, does it apply to NFT too? Because some company overseas use NFT for their crowdfunding.
Yes. Okay. So I love NFTs. I love where NFTs are going in the future. However, I think that would be a very advanced way of fundraising for us still. So I think we will be starting off with normal token issuance, but you never know, right? In the future, we might, SE might be open to fundraising through NFTs. It could be a possible future. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, next question. Will government contract be possibly involved in the crowdfunding of a great project?
Yes. So okay, so I categorize government projects ni as macam any other business that is very dependent on contracts lah. Doesn't matter government ke, private ke. So these sorts of projects can be considered for the IEO. So for example, if the contract value is a large sum of money and the capital required is 50 million, 60 million, I think this can be considered in our platform as well. However, we will be focusing more on companies that really want to build out the tech and the innovation of blockchain in Malaysia. I think that's our main focus. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that's answered the question. So the next question is basically tentang opinion Encik Zaim lah kan. The project that have been pitched recently that you consider potential to be unicorns. Ada tak?
Projects pitched recently. So this is talking about the ECF ke?
Sebab
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, on the ECF. Very interesting question. I think there are companies that has raised money on pitching that will be very successful. But whether or not it becomes a unicorn, aka valued at 1 billion USD by investors, is quite tough to answer right now, right? Because the companies would have to be valued by the later stage investors ataupun once they go IPO, the company has to be valued at 1 billion USD. So that's a very tough feat to reach. And in Malaysia pun, officially we got one unicorn, right? custom, and that required a lot of I would say synergy with the investors in Malaysia. A lot of hard work. I think they have a brilliant founder. So whether or not I know there's a potential unicorn, that's very tough. I mean, unicorns are rare, but whether or not there's a good business, I think there's a lot of good businesses that will have increase in valuation. I believe so, yeah.
Sebab kalau kita cerita tentang konteks Web3 punya projek, belum lagi lah sebab IEO start awal tahun depan kan, quarter 1 insyaAllah.
Yep.
Betul? Okay.
Understand.
Okay. Next question. Can you share more about the disbursement? Disbursement.
Yeah,
The money, I mean.
Okay, so this is a disbursement to the issuer, kan? Okay, so the disbursement will not be one lump sum to the company, right? So, for example, if a company successfully raised 10 million ringgit on pitching, we would want to have milestones for the company to hit before kita deploy the money. I think this is very good and is a good practice for the investors, right? Sebab we want to avoid lah, like a company that gets 10 million terus and then they don't meet the milestones kat the roadmap, then the company fails ke apa ke. With this milestone system ni, the companies are, encouraged to really execute and meet the roadmap that they have promised investors. So I think we are looking in maybe 3 tranches of disbursements based on milestones. How much dispersed at each tranche would be on a case-to-case basis. That will be very much determined in the due diligence process. Yep.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And then about the projects, do all projects will be featured in Pitch in Social or just a project with most hype?
Yeah, so the projects featured, I mean, the IEO projects will be the ones that have launched on the platform. So once the company has gone through the KYC, the due diligence process, only then will it will be displayed on the platform. Yeah. So hopefully once it gets displayed tu ada hype lah. We are hoping for that to happen.
And then maybe ada segmen yang highlighted project ke dekat platform Pitch In tu ke semua sama rata kan, macam tu.
Yep.
Okay, sama rata lah, tak ada. Okay, faham. Okay, next question. Do you foresee a lot of investor interested in this?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that, investors in Malaysia, they are open to new ways to fundraise, because I personally believe crypto is the future. I'm very bullish on the industry as a whole. And I think this is a way forward for Malaysia. And I'm hoping the investors are open to trying out our IEO platform when it launches. And maybe after a few projects has launched and we have completed a few successful fundraising fundraising campaigns, then hopefully the momentum will follow and we'll get more investors on the platform to support the entrepreneurs in Web3.
Okay. So after they give the white paper and then be validated by the Pitch In, and then it will be listed if accept lah, it will be listed in Pitch In platform. Lepas tu ada ke just macam bila dah listed, orang just boleh datang invest ataupun kita perlu untuk pitch lagi kita punya project kepada kalau ada, so how will Pitch In organize a session with VC to present our pitch deck?
Okay, so the process is also similar juga dengan the equity crowdfunding, right? So when a company dah successfully launch campaign diorang dekat the platform, the website, contohnya lah 3 bulan untuk fundraise. So Pitch In, we will do our part in helping promote and connect investors that are on Pitchin and host events, whether online ataupun offline, for AMA sessions, for example, for pitching sessions, and as well as we'll be going through the whole investor ready process masa due diligence awal-awal. So the entrepreneurs that want to raise funds, they would still have to promote their business and their fundraising campaign actively during the 3 months ataupun however many months diorang live on the website.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the part of investor pula, untuk invest tu kena guna fiat ke ataupun cryptocurrency, atau pitch in sendiri ada token sendiri yang kita kena guna dalam platform tu?
Oh, so ticker dia pitch lah. Tak adalah. For now, investors invest dalam fiat.
Dalam
Right. So I
fiat.
think the advantage of having a license by SC, for example, like the the digital asset exchange dekat Malaysia ni, is that Malaysians can use fiat money, ringgit, to buy crypto and to sell crypto for Malaysian ringgit. So I think that's the main benefit for investors ataupun issuers on the platform. So yes, I think we are going to accept fiat money, ringgit, and it'll be a good value prop for the Malaysian investors. Yang mungkin diorang ni investor for Web 2 tapi belum transition dalam Web 3 lagi. Yeah.
So boleh adopt pada Web3 punya tu. So dia masih lagi boleh guna fiat lah untuk invest.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. In this bear market, how will the sentiment of investors be toward project that we implement in blockchain technologies?
Yes, so that's an interesting question. Sebab during bull markets, semua orang akan tabur duit. Tak kisah, buat project akan tabur je. Sebab everything will go up. But what's interesting, I feel like during a bear market is usually when only the best companies survive, right? So if, for example, before the 2021 bull market, the good DeFi projects, for example, they were the ones that grew the most masa bull market. And they were the only ones that were surviving during 2018, 19, even early 2020. So for me, I think investors will be scared to put in money during a bear market. I think that's a general sentiment. However, my personal take on it is that during a bear market is where strong companies will survive. And I think it's the best time for investors, at their own risk, of course, right? This is not financial advice, to invest into the really good companies that would grow even more and will grow exponentially during the next bull market. Yes.
Faham. Okay, next question. Normal startup can even prove enough value proposition to investor via equity offering. How would token to do the job? And the ceiling is what, 100 million?
Yeah. So yes, the ceiling is 100 million ringgit. So this will be dependent on the share capital of the company. But yes. So normal startups, they can't prove with traction that they will be a unicorn, for example, right? But IEO, ICOs, early stage investments in general is more on backing founders with a vision and execution to realize their vision, right? So early stage investing is very risky. I think a lot of investors would take this into consideration before investing. There's no way to prove, because if there was a way to prove, they would have raised money easily already. Yeah, so yes, equity crowdfunding, early stage investments, IEO, they're all risky investments, but the reward to risk ratio makes sense if the business grows to for example, 100 million revenue company. the reward to risk ratio makes sense then. So yes, so when we, back to the question, when we look into how we think a company would grow in the future is, we'll be looking into first the business model of the company. We'll be looking into the industry they want to tap into, the market size. We'll be looking into how relevant the tokenomics will work with the business, and we will try our best to evaluate the companies for our investors. To answer the question, there is no sure way to confirm a value of a company now, especially in the early stage. But we are trying our best to democratize investments for everyone.
Yep. It's hard to prove, yeah. Okay. We know that about the money release, there will be maybe a branch for the KPI. If we achieve the KPI, and then they will release. So, do they have access to professional advisory service once they got listed?
Okay, so the startups that are on our platform, we will be providing our services to them on fundraising on pitching specifically. So we will assist them in getting investor ready, and we will assist them in marketing for their fundraising exercise. Yeah.
All right. Okay, next question. Will Pitch-in partner with local DAX to list the token for secondary market for the tokens?
Yes. So we will be partnering up with those the digital asset exchanges that are licensed by SC in Malaysia. So the companies that raise on Pitch-in, their tokens can be listed on all these exchanges. Yeah.
Okay. I think I just missed one question. Okay, we got back up. Okay, this is a very powerful question. How can startup evaluate their value proposition without bias from all the investment that happened to other global startups?
That's a tough question. That's a very good question as well. Yes, so I think there are multiple ways to look at this, right? So value proposition can be derived from many areas in a business. So number one, it could be from the founders. Number two, it could be from the product and service that the business is building. Number three, it could be the market that they are trying to penetrate. So of course, this is the non-exhaustive list. There are many more factors, I'm sure. But to simplify things, I think these three areas are a good way to look into it. So for the founders, some founders they are meant to be fintech founders, for example. Why do I say that, right? Because maybe fintech founders, the amount of capex, the amount of opex they need to be a significant size company in the future would require multiple fundraising. So maybe the founder is naturally good at selling the story of the company, to pitching to investors, to get later stage investments, grow the business, and eventually be sustainable in the future. Maybe there are some founders that are more grassroots. They know how to operate. They know how to sell to the consumers in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia. They have that advantage. So founders can be one. Number two could be the products and services that the business is building. This can be the actual product or services. This could be the business model, how innovative the founders are. And third, it would be the market. Maybe the market is very unique. For example, I think the DeFi market was very new, and I think the first few players that really executed well in DeFi, they got a majority of the market share, and it was a new market to be built. So that could be another way to increase your value proposition. Yeah.
I see. Okay, just now we are talking about the value proposition, and the next question is, what are the main things that investors are looking for in a startup?
Okay, so to simplify this, investors look to return their money with a certain multiple. Meaning, if an investor puts 1 million, the investor expects 2 million back or 3 million, right? So ROI. I think the main thing an investor want would be ROI. How does a business attract investors, right? So businesses should show investors how their business is going to grow to ensure or put in confidence to the investors that they will get back 2x, 3x their money in 5 years, in 10 years. So I think to simplify things, investors want returns. That's
Yeah.
what investors do. That's the game. That's the business of investing, right? So
Investor want to see when I can get my money back with some profits.
yeah.
Okay, next question. Will Pitch-in be hosting their own tokens for the IEO?
Yeah, so we won't be issuing our own tokens. Not that I know of. Yeah, but we will be a platform that will be launching and issuing tokens on the behalf of other companies. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. How can Pitch-in guarantee that investor won't immediately dump on retail upon launch?
Yes. So the pump and dump is a very dangerous thing in crypto, kan? Yeah. So what we believe in doing when we launch the platform is that we want to give a period of time where once the company receives the funding, they have a certain amount of time to build the product and services that they have promised the investors to gain real world traction, real business values, and then only list them on the digital asset exchange. So there, we want to schedule a time where maybe a time for them to build before actually listing their tokens on the DEXs. And also we will also be uh, sort of monitoring and controlling this through the distribution. So we will only distribute certain amount of funds once they have reached their milestone. So we have control mechanisms in place that would help protect the investors. Yep.
I see. So because the Pitch-in actually protect the investor lah, sebab tak boleh ada rug pull kan, sebab dia ada semua KYC semua tu kan.
Yep.
Dan sebab kita tahu pun tadi whale memang tak ada limit lah untuk dia orang invest ke dalam mana-mana projek. Betul.
Yes.
So soalan ni memang valid lah kan. So baguslah.
Yep.
Okay, the next one is what are the standard investing time frame for investor at Pitch-in?
Okay, so
The time frame.
in pitching, okay, there's two parts to the question, right? So one will be for the ECF, the equity crowdfunding, and then one more will be for the IEO, kan? So for ECF, generally, equity investments is a long-term investment, right? So usually, early stage investors invest and hope for a return, usually in 5 to 10 years. 5 being very rare, but you will expect your returns to be materialized in 10 years. That's pretty standard for early stage investments. For the IEO, we are looking at a similar time frame. However, since the tokens can be listed on a digital asset exchange, it's more liquid. So you can sell if you want, or you can buy more if you want. So we are giving that option to our investors.
Oh, I see. Understood. Okay, I think this is the last question. Okay, since Pitch-in already have their stance as the IEO spot in Malaysia and verified by SC. So yang ni, we're looking into the future lah kan. What is the potential of blockchain company in Malaysia?
Yes, interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, I think in general, Malaysian entrepreneurs are very like they're a brilliant bunch of people. I think personally,
Mm.
from my experience, I've seen and compared Malaysian entrepreneurs to other Southeast Asian country entrepreneurs, and I'm
Mm.
proud to say that I think we have a good number of entrepreneurs that are much better than the others in
Mm.
terms of their execution, in terms of their vision, in terms of them actually delivering the product for the customers. Um, for blockchain companies, I see a lot of interest in Web3, especially time COVID, especially time
Mhm.
lockdown. I see a lot of Malaysians interested in NFTs, interested dalam DeFi, building dApps. And I think if we merge the entrepreneurs in Malaysia uh, with the Web3 world, I think we could produce some pretty awesome companies. I am bullish on Malaysia, so
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah, that's the
I'm
hope.
with you. Okay, I think there's one more question, just a curious question. What is your day-to-day job like in Pitch In?
Yeah, so as of now, I am in the IEO department. So our status officially is we are conditionally approved by SC Malaysia. So we are going through the process of finalizing all the terms for our license for us to launch, right? And right now we are dealing with building the platform and the operations for the getting ready for the launch next year, hopefully Q1 of 2023. So my day to day is building the IEO right now with the team, of course. Yeah.
Yep, what me katanya ni.
Yes.
Okay, sebelum kita akhiri ni lah, saya nak cerita lah. Okay, Sekolah Kripto akan bagi token appreciation. Sekejap, tutup background. Sekejap. Nampak ke? Okay, buku What Me. Okay, Nan. Okay, buku What Me lah yang Sekolah Kripto buat dalam bahasa Melayu fully untuk bagi pendidikan tentang Web3, blockchain pada orang Malaysia. Tapi ini kita akan bagi percuma lah untuk Encik Zaim sebagai token appreciation. Terima
Thank you so
kasih
much.
bersama kami. InsyaAllah ini bukan ini, nanti kita akan buat sesi lagi lah dengan Pitch In bila dah launch nanti kan.
InsyaAllah.
Tentu ramai yang berminat ni nak listed dekat dalam Pitch In kan.
Boleh,
Uh,
insyaAllah.
okay, insyaAllah. Okay. Terima kasih Encik Zaim. Assalamualaikum. Selamat malam.
Terima kasih,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Assalamualaikum. Good night, everyone.